Welcome to a video talking about solderless prototype board, commonly called Proto Board. So the reason we are interested in this one is it allows us to make connection between the components, the various wires and its equipment without ever having to solder anything or clip anything or any of that. So it allows us to quickly build a circuit, quickly disassemble a circuit and move on to the next one. So the goal here today with this video is a short conversation about how you should be using this. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to use a voltmeter here to figure out which one of these connections, which one of these holes are connected to which hole, because that's how the connections are made. So what we're going to do is most the voltmeters or multimeters are set up for field use, so they will come with these pointy probes. Unfortunately, these probes are a little too big to go through the hole so we can do a connection. If you try to jam them in there, you're going to damage the proto board and would be basically useless. So try not to do that. If you're trying to measure this, one thing you will do is you put your voltmeter, make sure the red connector is connected to the ohm side, and then the black one is connected to the ground side or common. Okay? And once you've done that, then turn the switch over to the ohm meter side, ohm meter designator on this one. Most of the ones we have in the lab are dials, so you put in the right one, right measurement, whether you're measuring ohms, but some of them are automatic. And what we're going to do for simplicity, I'm going to select so it beeps when I short things together. If you notice right now it says OL, and if you remember, this is open loop, meaning that these two are not connected to each other. Now listen to what happens when I touch these. So I don't even have to look up. If I connect two holes that are connected to each other, I should hear a beep. So since these things are too big to go through here, my recommendation is we use a couple of probes. Alligator probes. If you haven't seen them before, this is what they look like, and they're called alligator clip for obvious reason. It kind of looks like the mouth of an alligator if you look at it. Anyway, so I'll connect the one side to one side of the probe, the other one, and then we have these little wires that are meant, they're thin enough, they're meant to go into the proto board. So what I will do is I will connect the other side of the alligator clips to one of these and the black one. So now what I've got is I've got my probes small enough such that I can put them in there. So I can put them in the holes, and of course if they're, obviously this doesn't look like they're connected because I read open loop or infinite resistance. So let's go ahead and do this. What happens, let's say, if I put this is one row to the next one. Oh, so it looks to me like the theory I have is the horizontally these five are connected to each other, but not to the next one over. So basically anywhere, any of these, if I go from one side to the other side, I get a short, but if I move the pin one step over, I get nothing. So okay, so now we know these are connected in this direction, and these are mirror image, so if I go over here, I get the same thing. And there you go. Alright, now when I go over to the sides where there's a red line and there's a blue line, that's indicating, by the way, those are minus and positive power. When we connect this to a power supply, we always like to have plus and minus on the side, and blue should be used for minus, red should be used for plus, so everybody understands it. So now, are they connected the same way as the rows of five? Let's see. So if I put this pin in red and put one right next to it in the blue, are they connected? No, I don't hear any sound. It says open loop, they're not connected. So let me go ahead and put it over here, and I'm not there. So if I go to the now, so now we understand that all the holes right next to the red are connected to each other, and all the one next to blue are connected to each other as well. So, okay, so that's how this is done. This proto board is set up. So how good? What good is that? Well, let's say you have a resistor, and I'll get my resistor, and I want to connect my resistor to, let's say, power supply. So instead of having to somehow solder this to a wire or whatever, I can get a couple of pieces of wires. Here they are. And if I put this in here, now the wires, if you look over here to this one, you'll see that the white cord, a white wire, and the side of the resistor are connected to each other. Now I can do the same thing on the other side, and as you notice, now I've made connections. I have two wires that are connected to the two sides of the resistor. I can hook them up to a power supply, I can hook them up to whatever, or I can put another resistor in here. So that's how proto boards are used. And the beauty of the proto board is if I decide this is the wrong thing or I'm done with this design, I just yank them out and we are back to the beginning. And again, if you're doing labs, every time your lab is completed, your board should look like this. All your components should be removed from this. For folks who are doing chips and they have two rows, the chips go and they basically, one set of legs go on one side of this ridge and the other legs go on the other side of the ridge. I don't have one here to show you, but they basically pop down here. Alright, so that's the proto board, and it's fundamentally used to speed up building and disassembling designs to test your design basically. Good luck with it. Take care.